Hey guys, I get a lot of questions on how do I do the release work? How is it done? Well, I do have, if you like to go on TikTok, I have a TikTok channel called at Live Into It 5. And on Sundays at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern time, every Sunday we do a energy healing release workshop. It's very interactive and something that can be very helpful if you want to learn. But I want to share a little bit of a story in a nutshell. Is I had an incident with a family member where it opened up something that was embedded in my nervous system that had needed to be healed, okay, on both ends, on my end and on the other person's end. And for me at least, I'm doing the work. But I realized yesterday that what had happened a few months ago was still, I was holding on to this story and I was ruminating about it and I wasn't able to let it go. And so when I realized that I was doing that, I was keeping it alive in my nervous system. And what I have learned with release work, and I'm still a work in progress myself, is that if you're holding on to a thought and feeling, it's going to be manifested out there. So whatever you're holding in mind is what you're going to be experiencing out in the world. Not everything, but mainly what you're continually having repetitive thoughts about, holding that story. So when you can truly experiment and let go of the story, which is what I'm doing, it will harmonize your nervous system and harmonize the connection with that person. Now, it may not be exactly the way you want it to turn out, but this is where people get stuck with releasing, is they think, well, if I shift and I release, that person's not going to change. They're going to be the same. That's not true. That's not true. You don't know how they're going to show up. You don't know how they're going to behave. You don't know what's going to happen with them. But you do know what's going on with you, because we are one with everyone. Everyone is a version of us. And if we can stay open to that, we can learn, we can grow, we can transform, and we can release these stories that no longer serve us, that are stuck in our nervous system. So it's like pulling that weed once you pull that weed, everything will collapse. That story will collapse and you will heal. So if you resonate, please comment. I'd love to hear your comments, and join me on Sunday for the live if you would like.